Sanbonani, my name is Gadaffi Gadaffi Manaffi, and welcome to Attention Reality Show. We know it's a reality, but it's Attention Reality Show. Okay, so today we are going to talk about music law, which falls under music education. And per demand, and a lot of artists have been saying that what should be in a contract, and can you share a bit of information about that? And today is what I'm gonna be talking about. The intro is quite simple. We'll address that when we talk about how to create your code, how to price yourself, to price your services. Okay, but we'll talk about what a client should provide for an artist. Okay, so first thing is your security and your safety. A client must get a permit, ne, and a license for the venue, for them to be able to even have an event there. So they must get that, and they must provide it to you, so that you are sure that you're secure. Yeah, so if anything happens, then you know that this place was inspected, and if anything happens, then the local law or the local municipality. And if you die, they're going to bury you. If you get, they're going to take care of your medical bills. So basically, that's just how it works. But you must get that. Just celebration. A client must agree to be responsible for obtaining or reimbursing the artist's work permit. If you're going outside the country, you need a work permit. For your transport, your accommodation, and your per diems or stipend, you need to be provided. The client should pay directly to those service providers, but then for the meal costs and your per diems, they need to be given to your manager or your promoter to give to your manager and then distribute to you, whatever. And the flying information, ticket flying information, accommodation, whatever, if it's going to be outside, then they need to be sent to you 2 days prior. And please bear in mind that unless there is a contract signed and 50% paid, there is no business. Okay, so sometimes promoters, they will advertise their event in your name, but they haven't paid you and there's no contract. You can sue them. So we will explore that on our blog, and you will see how it's supposed to be. With the cancellation, if a client for some reason or whatever challenges, but if they're not paid, if the event is being cancelled, or they want to cancel you, they must do that 6 days prior. So if they have paid you already the 50%, you don't pay the 50% back, but you pay 25%. You know why? Because you've already booked people to Zona Marihezali, they cancelled their work. So at least give them something out of the 25% and give the client back their 25%. Right? But if they cancel 3 days before the event begins, meaning you have rehearsed already, then the client needs to pay you a full amount because you cancelled your gig. Other gigs, you could have been booked elsewhere, but you secured yourself for this gig and you rehearsed, so you were going to perform. Or to cancel you must still get your full payment. And acts of God. If anything happens, it rain, transport, there was no transport, and people couldn't move around, and that was a problem. So if that happens and you have been paid a deposit, you will not pay the deposit back to the client because it was not your fault. It was acts of God, right? Or if it's taxi strikes, or if it's flight delays, such things, you don't pay back the money, but you make an arrangement with the client. I'll come and perform some other time, right? But you don't pay back the money. If it's your fault, you woke up very late, and that's why you couldn't make it to the event or to the performance, then you have to pay back the money to the client. Okay. So because it was in your control, like it was not in their control. The client will provide an artist with a reasonable access before sound check. So client must give you that access to set up your stuff and to do your sound check and load instrument. Even after the performance, they must give you that time to be able to do that and provide secure working environment and ensure all equipment facilities are in good order. Okay, and in Melaban Gayama laminated access cards, and they must give you bottled water and energy drinks for the period that you're performing there, or the period that you are in the venue until you depart from the venue. At your and if you want a drink outside, water or energy drink, then you can go and buy it yourself. But it should not be alcoholic. It should be non-alcoholic. I never book people who drink before the performance. I don't do that. It's unprofessional. You can't drink before the performance. You as an artist, you're allowed to sell your merchandise during the performance at least 30 minutes prior and even after the performance, with mutual agreement with the client or the hire, without paying them. About saying, okay, out of what you're selling, give me 2%, at least give me 5%. It's your merchandise, and it's just something they should do it for you. I get to you're pulling the crowd. Yeah, I get what funny, but produce it. So excuse as well. That would say, and I think it's two last things. If a client is going to book accommodation and transport for you and bazokulanda, angeke ube namanye ama-gigs somewhere uthi ngicela ukuthi sindlulela. But if you have allowed a client to give you money and you make your own bookings, to make your own bookings, then you can go and perform elsewhere before you go to the client, this other booking. That is 100 kilometers radius away. So if ohamba transport yakho ibukwe nguwe, but if a client does it for you, you can't do that. Ngicela ukuthi singabe stubborn. Ngiyabona abanye bayenza kanjalo and akukho right. Melo guy a technical rider, ne? Guy technical rider in wedding ukuthi sifuna any and then guy in a picture which gives them a structure. No ukuthi ubani uzoba kuphi, ubani uzoba kuphi, nani yabo. Guy lezinto lezo. And if a client doesn't have any requested equipment, they must inform you 72 hours prior so that you can you can organize, but they will pay. Okay. And you must also have the person who's going to be hiring the sound, or the sound guy. They must give you their number so that you have the right equipment. Sometimes you can request for something and it's the same thing, but it's not really the same quality. And also you know what kind of quality you need to ensure what your performance by. And then obviously one of the things is you should request there shouldn't be any promotion material on stage, or you wearing some t-shirt, banbani, Coca-Cola or Vodacom, any brand, because then you're promoting that brand and they're not paying you to promote the brand. So far, for today, I'll stop there. But these are the basic things. You'll find them on our blog, and we will save it on our page. We'll share it on our page as well. But it's Attention Reality Show on our blog. Must have contracts. Our next episode will talk about codes, how to code a client. and what are the rates. So cool. Sure.